Hi there. Happy to be blue. How you doing, girl? ID, all the numbers. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining. Question marks. Thank you for joining. Shanika, Jones. Can't speak. Thank you for joining, girl. Thank you. Thank you. We're gonna get this started. 50 and fabulous. Okay, let me start showing out for y'all. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Bedtime Stories, episode 4, where we're going to do a review of Caught Up Loving a Trill 1, 2, chapters 7 and 8. Ooh, and it gets a little juicy, a little juicy, a little juicy. So, as normal, I start it with a bedtime cocktail. Yesterday I did a Caribbean sunrise, my version, but today we're going to do a tequila sunrise. I got the cheapest, reasonable, non-bottom shelf I could get, and today we're going to be using Monte Alban white rum. It's Blanco, but it's white rum. White tequila. Okay, it's not gold. It's that white. It's that white. So, what we're going to be using, because I have never had this tequila before, I'm going to taste it. I'm going to take a shot of it. Ooh, Lord, I pray it don't knock me out. All right? Ooh, it smells like tequila. It smells kind of good, actually. Now, see, this is when I should have brought me some salt over here. I ain't got not near a little bit of salt. You know you can't take a shot of tequila and not have... But I'm not really going to take the full shot. I'm just doing it for taste. Okay. It ain't top shelf. It burns my lip a little bit. It is a smooth go down. Very little burn. Not bad for a $16 liquor, or a $17. It was $16.99 for a $17 liquor for this size bottle. It was on sale at the liquor store closest to me. Next time, I promise you, I will get a better liquor. But you know what? Sometimes you got to try other things, right? Hey, Melissa! How you doing, girl? Hey, girl, hey! Thank you for showing up for the Bedtime Stories, episode 4. So I'm going to cut this music off so we can get into the bedtime cocktail. So, this is going to, of course, be according to AKARA's version. We're going to be using again, because I have a dishwasher, me. I washed this out. We're going to do the tequila sunrise. Okay, so I put the rest of the shot that I did not drink in there, and I'm going to put another shot, partial shot of tequila into your to your glass. Thank you. My bestie got it for me. My tiara, the 50 tiara. um. All right. So here we go. So we got that. We got about, the bottom pass. That's a lot of tequila. That is a lot of tequila, but it's going to be mixed very well with my orange juice. So of course, like we did yesterday, we're going to fill it to taste. It's going to be a lot of orange juice to kind of dilute the tequila. And of course, with my handy dandy metal straw, I'm going to stir it up so it's not all that tequila just at the bottom of the glass. You know? So we're stirring that up, put that shot glass because we want to clear this off till when I start doing the review. And red grenadine. Let's make that tequila rise, sunrise. Okay, so this time I'm going to pour it on the side of the glass instead of in the center, hoping that it'll give you more of a sunrisey look. But there we go, tequila sunrise. Oh, let's add some ice, make it cold for you. Add a couple of cubes of ice in there. And that ice is going to still be icy by the time the end of this show. You hear me? I promise you, it'll still be icy. And of course, I always keep a handy dandy bottle of water. 1, because I'm drinking. 2, in case I start having it gets good and I go long and my throat gets dry, there's that water. I take my tips when I get them. All right, so here we go. Tequila sunrise. Oh yeah. Now notice I kind of drew my straw up. So I'm not drinking all of that red grenadine that gravitated down at the bottom. Okay. That's the ATA cocktail. Let's get into it. Let me turn Bigo live. Now, they've been on live, but they've just been turned away because they don't allow alcohol and all that stuff. So we don't, because IG kids be on here too, but that is their community rules. So how y'all doing, Big O? Thank y'all. I welcome y'all to the party. There you go. I welcome y'all to the party. Hey, how y'all doing? I've already said my hellos at the beginning of the live to those who checked in, Charika Jones, and all of y'all wonderful people. Thank you for showing up for the Bedtime Stories. So let's get into it. So, Chapter 7 starts off. Okay, so Chapter 7 starts off with Toy and Zeus at Tyson's trial. Let me get to the beginning of the book in case I want to refer to something in the book. And the judge has adjourned the jury to deliberate on Tyson's trial, whether they're gonna find him guilty or not. You know what that means, deliberate. And she really didn't hear that. She heard, okay, let's adjourn. She was like, let me get on out here. She did notice that Tyson not one time looked back at her to see if she was there. He didn't, he's probably a little salty because just in the last chapter, she told him, like, she laid down the law. Look, I'm going to be there to try to show face. Like, as I promised, I'm going to be there. But once this is all done and you come home, honey, we getting a divorce. So I am going to act like the loving wife as I promised you I would and support you through this. But once it's done, said and done, ain't nothing you can do to fix it. And so, but he's a little salty, so he's probably not looking back to see if she was really there. Um, she noticed from her side, I mean, that once it was adjourned, that her mother-in-law and her sister-in-law, Cynthia and Tarika, was over on the other side of the bench from her, not, all the way on the other side. And gracefully, they had not bothered her or tried to talk to her during this trial. And she was thankful for that. She did notice that Tarika kind of looked at her as she was getting up to leave, but she's like, look, I don't need this shit. I don't know that energy she gave off, but she's like, I don't need this shit. Don't come over here talking to me. Okay? Don't try to interject and try to keep us together, which I don't see the mother-in-law, Cynthia's little ghetto ass, trying to keep them together. Okay, she didn't like Toy in the first place. So she's probably happy that she wants a divorce. Okay? Ooh, I'm about to get some money. My hand itching. Somebody gonna give me some money. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Anyway, so she turns to Zeus and said, "Okay, if we can get out of here now, I can go and handle some business before, I go and pick up the girls." And Sue says, like, bet, let's go. So they get in the car, and Zeus decided to talk to her about her relationship with Saint. And she's like, really, I don't really want to go into that. If we've slept together, he was like, yeah, I'm assuming, that night that you didn't want to tell me where you were probably sleeping at his house. Um, like, I don't want to really be in the business, but I do want to talk to you because this could cause a problem once Tyson gets back. And it's really not my issue between you and Tyson and who you sleep with. I really don't care. But this might affect the business, and we don't really need all that. She's like, look, I got this under control. Mind your business, Deuce. But I thank you for caring. You know what I'm saying? Just let me get on out of here because I got to go and handle some business. I wrote down the jury adjourned to trial of the trial. The judge adjourned the trial for the jury to deliberate. Zeus wanted to let her wanted to give her some type of understanding that, look, even though you didn't say anything and y'all not directly say anything, if I can tell without you telling me that you and Saint have something going on, trust and believe Tyson can see that, and a lot of other people can see that. And this is true. The mother-in-law figured it out. Her mom figured it out. Blanca been knew, okay? Zeus figured it out. Mac even figured it out that her and Saint had something going on, and if they didn't, they about to. You know what I'm saying? That there is some type of connection between the two. And, but Toya was like, I know that Tyson can be jealous when it comes to me, but really he don't have a leg to stand on with him sleeping with my ex-best friend, having a child with her, continue sleeping with her, and then sleeping around on me. Really? Really? So even if he gets mad at it, he don't got no leg to stand on. So thanks, but no thanks, Zeus. Okay? I'll handle that when it is time to be handled. Okay? And she's right. But I'm not sure, it could cause a problem. It could cause a huge problem. Because if Zeus is really that jealous. Now remember back in the last book, in the last chapters, when she was connecting with Vic to do, basically provide the uh she provide the nose candy, some the sugar, the booger sugar for his parties. Um, Vic mentioned that he was into toy as well, but she started dating Tyson, and he believed that Tyson didn't want to do business with Vic because he didn't like the history that him and her and Toy had. The connection that they had. He was jealous. He mentioned the jealousy as well. So we'll see. With Tyson. So I don't know. Maybe Tyson's jealousy can get out of freaking hand. I don't know. Will this affect his business? Because he's also feeling a little intimidated. Tyson feels a little intimidated that Toy is running shit so well, and he's wondering what's gonna happen when he comes back. You know what I'm saying? So he got a whole bunch of stuff that he needs to get together and fix up and you need to get out, get acclimated quickly. He got a lot on his head, and so does Toy. So at any rate, so I say Toy had a brief conversation. Basically Zeus was telling her, so like, she's like, thanks, but no thanks. I got this covered. So want to make sure I didn't miss anything. So basically, chapter 7 was mostly talking about the trial, her talking with Zeus, or Zeus having to talk with her, like, hey, this could cause a problem. Okay, just be careful when he gets out. Okay. Now, the business that she had to take care of. Oh, Zeus also assured her that Zeus also assured Toy that Saint is going to handle most of the business because of we're going through the trial and we're going to be here and you have a lot to deal with. So she didn't have to worry about the business, regarding that he got that covered. So she said, well, that's good, but I still want to be very much in the loop of what's going on because I'm still in charge until Tyson gets out or until we find out what Scar is going to make his decision on where we're going to go from here. Okay, so we both know that that's not really my choice if I want to get out of the game or not. Okay, we'll take that up once Saint gets out. Toy asked Zeus, did you know when Scar and Blanca is going to be in town? He said, I don't know yet. I don't know. He hasn't told me what he's going to do. So basically, Scar is keeping everything on the low, close to his chest about where he's going to go as far as who's going to be doing what. Will he continue desiring to have Toy still in the business working for him? Will she be higher up or she have her own thing? Because trust and believe, Scar knows that they're, what's going on and the tension that's going on between her and Tyson. Will he try to keep them together and have her and her husband work together again? And then send Saint back to his old spot? I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Or will he allow Toy to set aside with this business? Somehow I feel like she's going to be involved in this business from now on out into the last book because there's another 2 books after this one. It ain't gonna be no fun if she's still not in it running shit. And Tyson's gonna be around too. These are main characters. So that was pretty much it. The business that she needs to take care of she made a stop at the accountant. Now, remember in chapter 5 and 6, she didn't told Tyson, like, once you get out, you get settled, we're gonna be divorced. And yes, we're gonna split everything down the middle. He was like, well, you can't just all the stuff intertwined and blah blah blah, yada yada yada. You can't just do that. She's like, watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Okay, so her stop before the end of the chapter was with the accountant, and she made a very important decision. Now remember, the accountant was sending $5,000 to Therese for the baby to keep it quiet. Well, guess what she did? She said, I said, resume the payments, but cut them in half. And I've already taken money out of the account. Yeah, I did it. I took the money out of the account that you will be using to give her money. Yeah, what you're going to do is you're going to cut it from 5,000 to 2,500. She doesn't need that much. And she definitely doesn't need that much because I already know. So you don't need to be paying her for silence. She don't need that much to raise my stepson. Okay, no. She gets half. She lucky I decided to resume the payments to her. But she understood she has a child and she has to take care of that child. Okay, but she don't need $5,000 worth. So he was like, you did what? She left him in silence and walked out. You said, but can you do this? Have you talked to Tyson? He said, I sure have not. But being that I am half owner of all this shit and my name is on all this stuff, I made the decision. Okay, if he wants to change it back when he has his money, then he could change it back. If she don't like her, tell her to step to me. Okay. All right. She wasn't having it. So I'm like, okay. I'm telling you, the Trill one is toy. Not all these gangsters and drug dealers. The Trill one is toy. Okay? The ones that's caught up loving a Trill one is Saint and Tyson. Okay? Come on. Hell, maybe even Scar. And I wonder, I'm just going to take a side note because the author doesn't hit me up as much as the last author I did, Take All of Me, because she is my bestie. She used to call me all the time, checking me on what she was meant and what da-da-da, and kind of giving me a glimpse into what it is. I wonder if Blanca is Saint's mom. I'm just saying. And Scar is his father. Or something of that matter. Because what I did get from the interview with the author, check it out. I have uploaded on YouTube. You can go to my Instagram and go and check out that interview with the author in full, uncut. Is that Saint? I had him casted as Michael Jai White, who is not light skinned. He's not dark skinned, but he's not light skinned. But she told me that she had him casted as a light skinned brother. So, and just Blanca, to me, I see her as that. I can't think of that white lady, that the actress. She was in Rocky when she was married to the Russian guy. I can't think of her. If it was going to be a Blanca, she's Blanca. Okay, I see her as a white woman from Colombia. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she's a white woman. And, dang it, I can't think of her name right now. And she dated Flavor Flav. Anyone who knows that, throw that in the comments if you remember her name, her actual name, not what the character she played. But at any rate, I see her as him. And if he's light skinned and Scar maybe is his father, but Scar doesn't know, and Saint doesn't know. I'm just wondering. I'm wondering. Okay, that was a side note. Okay, so that was the end of chapter 7, with her going to the accountant and telling him to cut that check in half that you send to Therese. Okay, so there it is. Let me take a sip of my sunrise. Ooh. Actually, the Killer Sunrise tastes a whole lot better than the Caribbean Sunrise that I did. Like, I can taste the tequila better. I can taste it. With the rum, that joint sneaks up on you like the Pink Panther. Do, 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 do. I forgot the music to the Pink Panther. But do 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 do. Yeah. Okay, there. It came back to me as soon as I said I didn't remember it. Okay. So nice little intermission. Okay. Let's move on to chapter 8. Chapter 8 starts out with them back. Zeus, Tyson, Toy, Cynthia, Tariq, all in court, waiting to hear the verdict. At this point, they were at deadlock. The jury's at deadlock on that Friday prior to this moment now. So the judge adjourned to allow the jury to deliberate throughout the weekend. And they come back. They're back in court on that Monday to find out what the verdict is. Okay. Toy is nervous because even though she has been assured by Scar that Tyson will be coming home, there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee that he'll be able to come back home. I apologize. I apologize. Chapter 8 does not start out with them in court. It starts out with Tyson in his cell, staring at the walls, staring at the ceiling, not being able to get sleep because of everything that is going on right now. You know, his attorneys assured him that the jury that doesn't come back quickly is usually is in the favor of the defendant. But, that does not give him any reassurance. He needs to hear it for himself. But he's also worried about where his place is once he gets out. If he gets out, where will he stand? Will he be able to mend his marriage back again? He sees hope because Toy has shown up in court every day during his trial. Even though he ain't looked back, he knew he was there because Cynthia told him. His mama told him. Ooh, did I drip on my sack? I hope I didn't drip on my sack. I think I dripped a little bit. Napkin. Anyway. So he's worried about that. What he's going to do when he gets out. Will he be able to mend his marriage? Will he get out? You know what I'm saying? And that's when he got a call from Mac in the cell. He was like, oh, man, he's like, I just called to check on you, blah, blah, blah. And really what he did was Mac wasn't calling to really check on him as opposed to tell on Toy. Okay? Real talk. And so he was like, doing small talk. He was like, yeah, I know it's, this rough, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. He's like, yo. So Mac basically was like, yo, you need to check your girl. When you get out and you come home, you need to check your girl because she's acting different. She's moving real different. You know what I'm saying? She came over here, doling out empty threats. I don't know. Toy's the trill one in my eyes right now. I don't take any threat that she says as empty. Okay. But, and Tyson's like, hold up. I need to do what? What? He took his phone from his ear and he looked at the phone. Nigga, what you say? And it's like, you need to check your girl. She tripping. She coming over here and said, hold up. First of all, what I'm not going to do is sit up there and stand in between two grown people. Whatever beef y'all have, y'all need to work that shit out. Okay? And if she Toy long enough to know that she ain't just doling out no empty threats. So, and Mac was like, what you saying? You saying that you talking to me like I did something to make her that way. Well, you had to do something because she does, good and damn well Toy doesn't do that. Okay? You know good and damn well she don't come around with no empty threats. She's a woman of her word. She clearly has made it very clear that she's a woman of her word. If she said she's going to do something, she's going to do it. Okay, so what happened? Or not even what happened, just get it together. And how you sitting up here getting upset and feeling some type of way over a woman. And then you telling me I need to check her. When? Houseway. All the times as long as you've known us, when have Toy ever been controlled? Ever. Ever. If anything, she's trying to control the situation. But she ain't to be controlled. He was like, Mac, you right. And Matt took that as like, move how you want to, just don't fuck with Toy. Okay? Look, just do whatever. But Matt failed to tell him that the reason why she threatened him is because he's the reason why. His insubordination is the reason why they've been going through these hits, going back and forth with the Alabama crew and everything. Tell him that, Matt. Tell him that. Tell him that, Matt. Tell him that you're the reason why we've had all the situations that's going on. It might not even went that way. Toy may not have shown up as a trill one. She would have been just handling the business as normal, waiting for him to come home. But no, you had to disobey as soon as that nigga went to jail. As soon as he went to jail. Which makes me still feel that Mac had something to do with Tyson going to jail. Like he was a snitch. He was a key component. Okay? And I believe Scar knew that Mac had something to do with it. He knew it was Mac. Or more likely than not, Mac is not, he is a lieutenant that is trying to take over Tyson's spot. He wants to take over. And poor Tyson don't even know. Tyson doesn't even know that Mac did what he did. Because I don't think he would have talked to him if he knew that he's the reason in his insubordination. And because of his insubordination, he almost got killed and he almost got his wife killed. I promise you their relationship will change as soon as Tyson finds that out. And I believe he's going to find out as soon as he gets out. So now we're back in court. Toy is nervous. Even though she's been assured by Scar that he will be released and coming home, she needs to hear it. Much like Tyson, I need to hear it for myself. Okay? Because fact, even Tyson say earlier in this chapter 8 that he was guilty of all the crimes that was brought to him. Brought against him. He's guilty of all of it. So it's like, the chances are, but his attorney Stephen Chase, was really good, but so was the prosecutors. So he's still nervous. Toy's nervous, even though it's like I don't know how he's going to. I don't know how Scar can assure this, and me either. I don't know how he can assure anything about him being released unless he got some inside connections, which is possible. But this trial went on as normal. Okay, the trial went on as normal. Oh, good night. Thank you. Thank you. Um, and okay, so Toy's nervous, so on and so forth. She's like, Zeus has to pat her on the leg because she's you know how you shake your leg and her heel is clicking up against the floor, click 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 because she is nervous. Um, and Zeus has to kind of put his hand on her leg to like, it's gonna be okay, just you know. And so she's like, okay, yeah, you're right, you're right. She breathes, she forces a smile on her face. Okay, let's go. And then out of the corner of her eye, she sees her sister-in-law coming her way, and she's like, oh God, here she comes. So Tarika comes up to her and she clears the throat. Toy, he said, yeah, what's up? What's up, Tarika? Still looking at the front of the courtroom. I know, with everything that's going on, um, look, uh, um, I just want to ask, it's the holidays are coming, Christmas is coming. We haven't seen the girls in months. And though I understand everything that's going on and you got a lot on your plate, me and my mom want to know if we can spend Christmas with the girls. We haven't seen them in months. I mean, we're their family as well. And, she looked at her and she noticed a change in her demeanor, not as cocky as before, you know. And then she realized that they didn't have the assurance like Scar had given her that he's going to be out. They don't know. They're literally here to find out the fate of her brother and Cynthia's son. They both had a whole different demeanor. That's the reason why they left her alone during the trial. Is because it's like I'm just concentrating on him hopefully being able to get out of this. I don't know how. They don't know. And she kind of softened up a little bit. And she's like, well, just true. They are your family. Let's just see what happens. If Tyson gets out, then you will be able to see the girls when, with him during the holidays. Okay? Let's just wait until hear the verdict. Okay? She was like, okay. And I do believe that had the verdict been any other way, that she would work out something for the girls to see her other side. Because it's not fair to keep them from their other side, no matter how much you like or dislike your mother-in-law, or your sister-in-law. So they read the verdict. The judge called for the four person to come up with, state their verdict. And the foreman says, we can't come to a decision. And so the judge disappears. And I guess he went out and came back. It's like, okay, you sure? There's nothing? there's nothing, no, we can't deliberate any longer that would change and come up with a solid verdict. And it was like, no, sir. And so the judge said, I have no other choice but to call this a mistrial. Okay, so I'm pretty sure, and Cynthia, his mother, probably was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh, God. You know, a judge, of course, asked the prosecutor, are they going to bring this back to trial or not? They said they weren't sure at this time. So he gave them some time to figure out what they're going to do. So, he said, so I guess he's going to be released shortly because it's been a mistrial. This does not mean that they cannot bring it back to court. They can find more evidence and want to bring it back to trial. But as it stands, he's a free man. Okay. So, Toy is relieved. She's like, okay. Zeus like, you do you need to stay for anything else? She's like, nah, not really. I heard what I need to hear. She's still, at this time, Tyson still hasn't turned around to look at her to see if she's there or anything. It's like, he's still salty, huh? And she's like, well, let's get on out of here. Let's go on, handle some business. Let's continue handle. We know what it is. Let's get it. Let's go. And so she gets up with Zeus. They head out, and she doesn't turn back to see if he looked her way. Finally looked back at her, but so she walks out, and at that point she missed Tyson looking back, because at that point he decided to look back, and she wasn't paying any attention to him at all. I mean, she was gone. She was gone, and that was disappointing for him. But she was there. But what can he say? You tried, you played stiff neck with it, and that's what it is. But they had gotten a call. Zeus had gotten a call from Saint that he wanted to see them as soon as the trial was over. And so they got out of there, went straight to find out what was going on. And so they met at the car wash that Toy owned. And, to find out what was going on. What did we need? What was the trouble? What was the problem? Toy, of course, arrives before Zeus does. And because he walks her to her truck, they leave the court at the same time, but she got there quickest. She entered in. Mac was counting the money. He said, so she comes in and says, so what's up? What's wrong? He said, is Zeus with you? He said, no, he's coming in a little bit. I said, well, I want to tell y'all both together. So okay, so I heard that, he says, I heard that Tyson's going to be getting out soon. He said, yeah, they talk, they make some small talk, of course. She asked him, are you going out of town for Christmas or are you going to stay here? He's like, why'd you ask? You going to miss me? She's like, nigga, dog, I was just asking, She was like, whatever. I'm just asking, She said, yeah, I'm going to go back home. Christmas is a big deal for us at home. And my sister will lose her mind if I don't come back home. So, but I'll be back on the 26th right afterwards. So you won't have to miss me for long, right? So she was like, whatever. So he said something nice to her. Don't worry. He said, don't worry. I got you a gift. She said, you got me a gift? She said, yes. And I've learned that you a woman that likes grand gestures of gifts. Come on. He said Tyson set up and bought you a whole wedding event venue, you know what I'm saying, for you as a gift. Okay. I can't compete with that, but I can drop a couple of bands on the gift that I'm gonna give you. I'll give that to you later. He's like, oh, whatever. They kiss a little bit, and then boom, boom, boom. Zeus comes in. I mean, knocks on the door and say, "Hey, it's me, y'all." Um, After that intimate kiss and talk and conversation about Christmas and stuff like that, he goes to unlock the door, and the softness that he had with Toy, when he's only around Toy, the playful, flirtatious banter ends as soon as Zeus comes in the door. He's all business. He's back to business. Like, now, let's get it together. The issue is the Alabama crew is coming up short. They're coming back with half the money, and they don't have any excuse on why they're doing it. And when I ask, they call humming, humming. Well, whoever's doing, let me know who it is. Now, humming. He said, I'll go and shoot them myself. I'll take care of business myself. And so not Tyson. So Saint is saying, like, oh my goodness, I don't know what's going on. But we need to find out what's going on. He said, we damn sure need to find out what's going on. Do we need to make a trip down to Alabama? Basically, Saint said, look, I gave them a week to come up with the money because it's the holidays. I'm feeling festive. So I'm going to give you a week to come up with the rest of the money. Okay. Now, we know that Rico is gone and Omar is gone. Okay. So where does money coming? Where does money going? They're not getting orders from their higher ups because they dead. So where does money coming? They're saying, oh, someone robbed one of them. That's where the money is going. So half of the money is gone because someone got robbed. Who did it? You don't have no clue on who did it? Nah, that's not even okay. So we end with them figures like, okay, well, we're going to let this holiday, but we're going to find out what happened. Okay. If I don't, Scar is. Okay. So that's where we end with chapter 8. That's all. So I gotta hurry up and end this because I want to definitely be able to download this video so that I can upload it to IG later tomorrow. At any rate, that's all I have for you. You all have a wonderful evening. Remember, come back here on Friday evening at 8 o'clock for Bedtime Stories episode 5, where I'll be reviewing chapters 9 and 10. All right. Oh, we running through these chapters, child. We gonna get to the end of the book. We gonna find out what happens when Tyson comes home. Is he gonna notice that Saint and Toy have a thing going on? Is he gonna be put back in his old spot of running the Atlanta branch of Scar's empire? And is Saint gonna go back home or go back to his old spot where he was designated? Is Toy still gonna be in the game? Is Therese gonna get her ass whooped again because she deserves it? Will Cynthia be a whole asshole mother-in-law again? Will Tyson be able to win back Toy? Is he going to be able to win back Toy? He seems to think he will. We'll find out. At any rate, that's it. I will see you next Friday for the bedtime stories at 8 o'clock. No, correction, at 9 o'clock, because that is a work day, honey. I ain't going to be on here trying to rush home and try to do all this, okay, honey? So, there it is. Remember, love yourself, love your neighbors, and stay authentic. Y'all have a wonderful evening and a great day back at work on Monday.